3 weeks after first contact, Adam found himself working directly with the aliens. The consortium had set up a research base in a large park outside New York. They wanted to learn how humans could live so easily on such a dangerous planet. Adam was paired with Mila, a young consortium scientist who studied biology. Unlike Ambassador Krill, Mila had become brave enough to wear a lighter protective suit. It still covered her blue skin completely, but at least now Adam could see her face through a clear helmet. "Today I want to show you something normal for humans," Adam said as they walked through the base. "Something we do for fun." Mila's large eyes blinked nervously. "Is it dangerous? Your ideas of fun often involve risk." Adam smiled. "We're going to have a picnic in the park, just eating food outside." Even this simple activity shocked the aliens. As Adam spread a blanket on the grass, Mila stayed standing, scanning the area with a small device. "There are 342 different microorganisms in this small patch of grass," she said, her voice worried. "And insects. Many insects." "That's normal," Adam explained. "They won't hurt us." Nearby, a family played with their dog. Children ran and fell on the grass, then got up laughing. A group of teenagers played football, their bodies crashing into each other. 2 old men sat playing chess in the sun. Mila recorded everything with her devices. Your young practice falling. And the older humans exposed their skin to direct radiation from your sun. The males collide for entertainment. Adam opened his picnic basket. He had brought simple foods, sandwiches, chips, apples, and cookies. He also brought something special for Mila, a container of plain rice, tested and approved as safe for her species. "Would you like to try eating without your helmet?" Adam asked. "Our scientists confirmed the air is safe for you." Mila hesitated, then slowly removed her helmet. She took a small breath, then another. Her blue skin changed color slightly, becoming more purple. "It feels sharp," she said. "So many smells, so much information." When she tried the rice, her eyes grew wide. "This has so much flavor. Our food is nutrient paste. It has no taste." As they ate, Adam learned more about Mila's world. Her planet had no seasons, no storms, and very few animals. Their society had never known war or violence. They lived peaceful, perfectly planned lives. "No wonder Earth scares you," Adam said. "We deal with change and danger every day." Their peaceful picnic ended suddenly when dark clouds rolled in. The first drops of rain fell, and the park visitors began packing up. "What's happening?" Mila asked, looking at the sky with fear. "Just a summer storm," Adam explained. "We should go inside." But before they could pack up, the rain poured down heavily. Mila froze in panic as water hit her skin. Adam quickly helped her put her helmet back on. "The water from your sky burns slightly," she said, amazed. "And yet the children play in it." Indeed, several kids had stayed in the rain, jumping in puddles and laughing. On the way back to the base, they passed a street food vendor still cooking despite the rain. The smell of spicy food filled the air. "That human burns plant chemicals to create pain in the mouth, then charges money for others to experience it," Mila observed, pointing to the taco stand. "And people line up in the rain for this experience." Adam laughed. "When you say it that way, humans do sound pretty strange." Back at the base, other aliens gathered around Mila, amazed at her bravery. She had survived a picnic, tasted human food, breathed earth air, and even felt rain on her skin. "Maybe," Mila said to her friends, "we have been too careful in our lives. These humans find joy in things we fear." Adam realized the exchange was teaching both species something valuable. Humans learned they were stronger than they knew, and the aliens learned that some risks might be worth taking. 1 month after the picnic incident, the consortium leaders called a special meeting. Adam was invited to attend along with other scientists and government officials from Earth. Ambassador Krill stood at the front of the room, his protective suit gleaming under the lights. "We have studied humans for many weeks now. Your abilities still amaze us. To better understand each other, we propose a challenge." The room grew quiet as everyone listened carefully. 3 humans will visit our homeworld, Zora. At the same time, 3 of our people will live as humans on Earth without protective suits. This will help us learn if Earth truly deserves its Class 13 Deathworld rating. Dr. Liz Morgan, head of the Human Research Team, raised her hand. "How will you select the humans who go to Zora?" Ambassador Krill's large eyes blinked. "We need humans with different skills. A scientist, someone who understands alien biology, and someone with physical strength." By the end of the day, 3 people were chosen. Adam for his work with Mela, Dr. Liz Morgan for her scientific knowledge, and Steve Rogers, a firefighter who had impressed the aliens by running into a burning building to save a child during their observation period. "I don't understand why they picked me," Steve said during their first meeting. "I was just doing my job." "That's exactly why," Adam explained. "What seems normal to us seems like incredible bravery to them. Running into fire, that's unthinkable for their species." The 3 humans were given information about Zora. The planet had lighter gravity than Earth, perfect weather year-round, and no dangerous animals. The consortium people had never developed weapons or experienced war. Their buildings were designed for beauty, not to withstand storms or earthquakes. "It sounds like paradise," Liz said. "It sounds boring," Steve replied with a smile. Meanwhile, 3 consortium members prepared to live without their protective suits on Earth. Mila volunteered immediately. She was joined by Ambassador Krill and a cultural expert named Jax. The day before the exchange began, both groups met for a final briefing. Mila approached Adam nervously. "I am afraid," she admitted, "but also excited. Is this how humans feel before adventures?" Adam nodded. "That's exactly how we feel. Fear and excitement together." The next morning, the 3 humans boarded the consortium ship. The inside was designed for comfort, with soft lighting and gentle sounds. As the ship rose through Earth's atmosphere, Steve looked out the window at his home planet. "It doesn't look dangerous from up here," he said. "It looks beautiful." On Earth, Mila, Krill, and Jax prepared for their first day without protection. They stood in a special room at the research base, slowly removing their suits piece by piece. When Krill took his final helmet off, he started breathing quickly. "So much oxygen," he gasped. "It makes my mind race." Jax touched the wall with his bare blue hand. "I can feel vibrations from the city. Cars, trains, people walking. So much movement." Mila was the first to step outside. The morning sun touched her blue skin and she flinched. Then she smiled. "It's warm. Not burning, just warm." She took a deep breath. "The air is so rich with information. I can smell plants, water, and cooking food from somewhere." As Adam's ship traveled toward Zora, and Mila took her first steps on Earth without protection, both sides knew this exchange would change their understanding forever. "We come from worlds that could not be more different," Ambassador Krill had said. "Your people evolved to face danger daily. Our people evolved to avoid it completely. What can we learn from each other? That is the true purpose of our challenge." The journey to Zora took 5 days in the consortium's ship. Adam, Liz, and Steve spent most of their time learning about the alien world from videos and books. When they finally arrived, the sight took their breath away. Zora was beautiful. The sky had a light purple color. 2 small moons hung visible even in daylight. The cities were built with tall, thin towers that looked like they might blow over in a strong wind. As they stepped off the ship, Adam immediately felt the difference. "The gravity," he said, taking a bouncy step. "It's like walking on a trampoline." "Be careful," warned their Zoraxian guide, Tren. "Your Earth muscles are much stronger than ours. Please try not to jump or move too quickly." The humans were given a tour of the main city. Every building was perfectly clean. The streets had no cracks or holes. There were no emergency services, no police, no hospitals. The Zoraxians had never needed them. That night, the humans stayed in a special building designed to make them comfortable. Their rooms had machines that created Earth-normal gravity, but outside, they could bounce around like they were on the moon. "I could jump over a house here," Steve said during dinner. He looked down at his food. A clear jelly that contained all necessary nutrients, but had no taste at all. "But I'd trade that ability for a cheeseburger right now." Liz picked at her food. Their world is perfect. No storms, no earthquakes, no dangerous animals. They've never needed to adapt to challenges. "That's why they can't understand us," Adam replied. "We evolve facing danger every day. They evolved without it." Meanwhile, on Earth, the three Zoraxians were having a very different experience. Nyla had adapted best. She still wore special sunglasses to protect her sensitive eyes and earplugs to reduce the noise, but she could walk outside for almost an hour before becoming overwhelmed. Ambassador Krill struggled more. On his third day without a suit, it rained. The feeling of water dropping on his skin from above caused him to panic. "It stings. It's attacking me," he cried, running back inside. Jax was fascinated by human food. He had tried a plain cracker and described the sensation as an explosion of flavor. When offered mildly spiced food, he refused. "I have seen your people's faces when eating spicy things. The pain looks unbearable." Back on Zora, the humans were getting restless. There was nothing to do. No challenges to face. No problems to solve. On their fifth day, Steve suggested they show their hosts some human games. They set up a simple obstacle course in a park and invited young Zoraxians to try it. "Just climb over this wall, run through these cones, and crawl under this rope," Steve explained. The Zoraxian youths were confused. "Why would we do this?" one asked. "For fun. To challenge yourselves," Steve said. A few tried. They moved slowly and carefully. When one fell and scraped his knee, medical teams rushed in with emergency equipment. The small scratch, something human children would ignore, was treated like a serious injury. "They've never learned to handle pain," Liz whispered to Adam. "Even small injuries are traumatic for them." That evening, Adam wrote in his journal, "Zora is paradise, but it's a paradise that would drive humans crazy. We need challenges to feel alive. Without problems to solve, we feel useless." The Zoraxians built a perfect world, and it made them incredibly fragile. Our dangerous world made us incredibly strong. On Earth, Milo was writing something similar. Humans don't just survive their deadly world. They love it. They play in rain that burns our skin. They eat food that causes pain. They exercise until their muscles hurt. What we see as danger, they see as life. Two worlds, two species, both starting to understand just how different they truly were. 2 weeks into the exchange, Adam woke to strange sounds. Alarms were ringing throughout the Zoraxian city. Outside his window, he saw people running in panic. He quickly woke Liz and Steve. "Something's wrong," he said. They dressed and went outside. The light purple sky had turned darker. Wind blew stronger than they had felt since arriving on Zora. A Zoraxian official named Vila rushed up to them. "We are experiencing a weather emergency. This has not happened in my lifetime." The humans looked at each other in confusion. The wind was barely strong enough to ruffle their hair. "This is an emergency?" Steve asked. "This is just a light breeze on Earth. Our buildings are not designed for wind," Vila explained, her voice shaking. "Some decorative towers have already fallen. We do not know what to do." Adam looked around and saw the problem. The beautiful, thin towers of the city had no structural support for wind resistance. On Earth, buildings were made to withstand storms, earthquakes, and other disasters. Here, such events were so rare that no one planned for them. "We can help," Steve said confidently. "This is what humans are good at, handling emergencies." Steve organized teams to evacuate the tallest buildings. Liz helped set up a command center to coordinate efforts. Adam worked with Zoraxian engineers to quickly add supports to buildings most at risk. Tie these cables from the top of the tower to these ground anchors, Adam instructed. It will work like the guy wires on radio towers back home. The Zoraxians were amazed at how quickly the humans took charge. Where they saw disaster, the humans saw a problem that could be solved. "You're not afraid?" Vila asked Adam as they worked. This is nothing," Adam replied. "On Earth, we deal with hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and blizzards. This is just a windy day." By evening, the wind had died down. No one was hurt, and only 3 buildings had minor damage. The Zoraxians treated the humans like heroes. "You saved our city," the Zoraxian leader told them at a special dinner. "Now we understand why your species thrives on a Class 13 world. You have evolved to handle crisis." Meanwhile, on Earth, the Zoraxians faced a crisis of their own. A small earthquake, just 3.2 on the Richter scale, hit near the research base. For humans, it was barely noticeable. For the Zoraxians, it was terrifying. "The ground is attacking us," Jack screamed, hiding under a table. Mila, who had adapted better than the others, still felt overwhelmed by the movement. "How do you live knowing the ground can shake at any time?" she asked her human friends. Ambassador Krill had the worst reaction. The sudden movement triggered a panic response in his body. His heart rate increased dramatically, and he struggled to breathe. Human doctors had to treat him with special medication. "Their bodies aren't designed to handle sudden stress," Dr. Carter explained to the research team. "What we call the fight or flight response is mild in our bodies. In theirs, it's extreme and can be dangerous." That night, after Krill had recovered, Mila visited him in the medical room. "I've been thinking," she said. "Our species avoided all danger for so long that we lost the ability to face it. Humans faced danger every day and became stronger." Krill nodded weakly. "Their Class 13 world didn't just make them strong physically. It made them mentally strong too. Did you see how they responded to the earthquake? They barely noticed it." On Zora, Adam had a similar conversation with Liz and Steve. "Today proved something," Adam said. "What makes Earth dangerous also made us who we are. We're problem solvers because we've always had problems to solve." Liz nodded. "And the Zoraxians are struggling on Earth because they never needed to develop crisis response skills." "Different worlds, different strengths," Steve added. "But I think we can learn from each other." 3 months into the exchange program, both groups had learned important lessons. On Zora, the humans had become heroes after helping during the wind crisis. The Zoraxians now looked to them for advice on handling unexpected problems. Adam sat with the Zoraxian Science Council, explaining a concept that seemed basic to humans, but revolutionary to the aliens. "Emergency planning means preparing for things that might never happen," Adam said. "On Earth, every city has plans for fires, floods, storms, and earthquakes. But planning for unlikely events seems wasteful," argued Council Leader Prin. "Why spend resources on something that probably won't happen?" Steve, who had joined the meeting, stepped forward. "Because when it does happen, you save lives. As a firefighter on Earth, I've seen what happens when people don't prepare." The council members whispered among themselves. Finally, Prin spoke again. "We have lived so long without crisis that we forgot crisis could exist. Your wisdom from the dangerous Earth may save many of our people in the future." Meanwhile, on Earth, the Zoraxians were making their own progress. Ambassador Krill had decided to return to Zora, unable to adapt to Earth's constant challenges. But Mila and Jack stayed, slowly building tolerance to Earth's conditions. Mila had become something of a celebrity. News programs showed her trying human activities that seemed ordinary to people but amazing for an alien. She had recently tasted a banana, very mild by human standards, but full of flavor for her sensitive taste buds. "It's like an explosion of sweetness," she told the camera. "But pleasant, not overwhelming anymore." Jax focused on understanding human art and entertainment. He was fascinated by how humans sought out emotional experiences through movies, books, and music. Your species creates stories about danger and hardship, even though you already live with real danger, he observed during a cultural exchange meeting. You seek out emotional pain willingly, through sad stories and music. Liz, who had returned temporarily from Zora for the meeting, nodded. We need to feel a full range of emotions to be healthy, even the difficult ones. The biggest breakthrough came when young Zoraxian scientist Vex asked Adam a question that showed true understanding. Your species evolved on a world full of danger, Vex said. This made you strong, adaptable, and brave. Our species evolved on a world without danger, making us cautious, fragile, and peaceful. Adam nodded, wondering where this was going. But neither path is better or worse, Vex continued. They are just different responses to different worlds. Perhaps together, we create something better than either could alone. This idea, that both species had valuable traits, became the foundation of a new relationship between Earth and Zora. The consortium officially changed Earth's classification from Class 13 Deathworld to Resilient Adaptive World. On the 3-month anniversary of the exchange, both planets held ceremonies celebrating what they had learned from each other. On Earth, Mila gave a speech at the United Nations. We came to your world thinking you were reckless danger seekers living on a deadly planet. Now we understand that what makes Earth challenging also made humans remarkable. You don't just survive here, you thrive here. On Zora, Adam addressed the Planetary Council. We came to your world thinking you were fragile and overcautious. Now we understand that your peaceful evolution created wonderful things, art, philosophy, and harmony that Earth has never known. We have much to learn from each other. Both speeches ended with the same announcement. The exchange program would become permanent. Humans would continue visiting Zora, teaching resilience and emergency management. Zoraxians would continue coming to Earth, learning to adapt while sharing their knowledge of harmony and peace. Different worlds created different strengths. Adam told the Zoraxian Council, together, we're stronger than apart. 1 year after first contact, Earth and Zora celebrated their successful exchange program. What started as a simple experiment had grown into something much bigger. On the anniversary day, Adam stood on a stage in New York City beside Mila. Both were now respected ambassadors between their worlds. Thousands of humans and dozens of Zoraxians gathered to hear them speak. A year ago, the consortium classified Earth as a Class 13 Deathworld. Adam began. Today, they have created a new classification. Earth is now called a Catalyst World, a planet whose challenges created a species ready to face the unknown. Mila stepped forward. Unlike other Zoraxians, she wore no protective gear at all. A year on Earth had changed her. Her blue skin had darkened slightly from sun exposure. Her thin frame had become stronger. On my world, we avoided all danger, she said. We built a perfect, safe society. But we missed something important. We never learned to adapt, to grow stronger through challenges. In the audience sat Steve and Liz. Both had returned from Zora 6 months ago, but they still worked closely with the alien visitors. Steve now trained Zoraxian emergency response teams. Liz had developed special foods that Zoraxians could enjoy safely on Earth. Ambassador Krill stood nearby. He still wore a thin protective suit when outdoors, but he had made progress too. Last week, he had tried coffee for the first time, heavily diluted, but still a major step for someone from his world. The biggest news came at the end of the ceremony. Adam and Mila together announced a joint space program. Zoraxian ships, the safest ever built, would be piloted by human crews willing to take calculated risks. Together, we are stronger than apart, Adam told the crowd. Humans provide courage and adaptability. Zoraxians provide caution and planning. Together, we will explore the galaxy better than either species could alone. The first joint mission would launch next month. A team of 4 humans and 3 Zoraxians would explore a newly discovered solar system. Steve had been selected as the mission commander. After the ceremony, Adam and Mila walked through Central Park, the same park where Adam had jogged that ordinary morning a year ago. "Do you remember when rain terrified you?" Adam asked with a smile. Mila laughed. "Yes. Now I only wear a hood when it rains like humans do." She looked up at the blue sky. "I still find Earth challenging. The weather changes so quickly. The ground sometimes shakes. Even your food still burns my mouth." "But you stayed," Adam said. "I stay because your dangerous world taught me something important," Mila replied. "Life isn't about being safe. It's about growing, changing, and facing challenges." They passed a playground where human and Zoraxian children played together. The alien children moved more carefully than the humans, but they were learning to climb, to fall safely, to take small risks. "Look at them," Adam said. "The next generation will be different. Your children will be stronger. Ours might be a little more careful." Mila nodded. "Both will be better for it." That evening, news programs around the world showed images from Zora. Humans there had helped design new buildings, still beautiful, but now strong enough to withstand wind and minor quakes. Zoraxian scientists had started creating foods with more flavor, inspired by Earth cuisine but safe for their sensitive systems. Both worlds were changing, learning from each other. As Adam watched the sunset from his apartment window, he thought about how ordinary his life had seemed before first contact. Now he understood that humans had always been extraordinary, surviving and thriving on a world that would kill most other intelligent species. "From Deathworld to Catalyst World," he said quietly, "we never knew how strong we were until someone from another world showed us." And somewhere on the other side of the galaxy, Zoraxians were learning the value of facing challenges instead of avoiding them, a lesson that would change their civilization forever. Jack Miller took a deep breath as he stood in front of the huge glass building that housed the Galactic Union Academy. His heart beat fast in his chest. As the first human ever accepted to this famous space school, he knew everyone would be watching him closely. The academy was home to students from over 30 different alien species. All of them were here to learn how to work together across the stars. Jack had studied pictures and videos of these aliens for months, but seeing them in real life made his mouth go dry. The large metal doors slid open with a soft hiss. Jack stepped inside, clutching his orientation packet tightly. The hallway buzzed with activity. Tall, thin aliens with 4 arms walked beside short, round beings that seemed to float just above the ground. Some had scales, others had fur, and a few glowed with soft, pulsing light. "Stay calm," Jack whispered to himself. "They're just students, like you." A 7-foot-tall blue alien approached him. The creature had 4 long arms and skin that shimmered like the surface of water. Jack recognized it as a Centaurian from his briefing materials. "You must be Jack Miller," the alien said in perfect English. "I am Professor Six Nabila. Welcome to the Academy." Jack nodded, trying not to stare at how the professor's skin changed colors slightly as he spoke. "Thank you, sir. I'm honored to be here. Your first class begins in 15 minutes. Advanced Xenobiology in Hall J12, the professor said, pointing down a curved hallway with one of his 4 hands. "I suggest you head there now. First impressions matter greatly here." Jack thanked him and walked down the hallway, feeling the eyes of many strange creatures following him. Humans were new to space travel, having only discovered faster-than-light technology 20 years ago. Most alien species still viewed humans with a mix of interest and worry. The Academy's halls were filled with strange smells, some pleasant like cinnamon, others sharp and metallic. The air felt different too, slightly thicker than Earth's, processed to accommodate the needs of many different life forms. As Jack walked, he noticed how the other students reacted to him. Some moved away, giving him extra space. Others leaned in, studying him with multiple eyes or sensing organs. A small group of insect-like beings clicked rapidly to each other as he passed, clearly talking about him. Jack checked his digital map and found Hall J12. The classroom was round, with seats arranged in circles that went down toward a central platform, like a small arena. About 20 students were already there, representing at least a dozen different species. Finding an empty seat in the second row, Jack sat down carefully. The gravity felt stronger here than on Earth, making his body feel heavy and his muscles tight. The seat, designed to accommodate many body types, adjusted under him with a soft hum. Jack looked around at his classmates. A student with 8 eyes blinked at him in sequence. Another with scales and a long tail watched him cautiously. In the row behind him sat 3 identical beings who seemed to share one consciousness, moving in perfect sync. This is really happening, Jack thought, excitement replacing his nervousness. He was the first human to study alongside aliens, to learn their ways, to represent Earth in this gathering of worlds. What he did here would shape how these beings viewed humanity for years to come. Professor Vril, a dragon-like creature with color-changing scales, entered the room and moved to the central platform. Class was about to begin, and Jack Miller's adventure among the stars was just getting started.